I had the fullest intention of staying away from this story because even I felt like, even though it pertains to NFL news and on my other channels, I do dive into this side of NFL players' lives just because, well, if you're an NFL viewer and an NFL subscriber and an NFL fan, you tend to be interested in this type of content. Even I felt like this story was a little bit too wild for me to cover. But since it's the top trending thing on Google in regards to the NFL, over any Carson Wentz trade rumors, over the fact that Urban Meyer might join an NFL team this year, over any type of information whatsoever, I felt like my hands were tied. As my responsibility to you guys, as a guy that does NFL analysis and NFL news, I had to cover this story for you guys. So before we get to it, I just want to let you guys know that there's a great chance this video gets demonetized. So if you could do me a favor and leave a like for the YouTube algorithm, so you could save my channel from whatever algorithmic punishment I'm going to get from YouTube just for having this video demonetized, that'd be awesome. We're also giving away a PlayStation 5 to an individual that subscribes and turns on my notifications on this channel. Whether you're an older subscriber or a newer subscriber, if you subscribed and turned on my notifications, you have entered for a chance to win a PlayStation 5. If you want additional entries, follow us on Twitter and on Instagram. And you probably want to be followed on Instagram because, well, there's some exclusive content in regards to the story that we're only going to be able to post onto Instagram today. So now that we got all that out of the way, break! Mic check 1 2 1 2. What's going on, everybody? It's been a while since we've heard the name of Von Miller, and that's because not only did he have a subpar season for himself in the 2019 NFL season, recording his fewest sacks since the 2013 NFL season with only 8 sacks, but on top of that, he sustained a freak injury right before the beginning of the 2020 NFL season. As a matter of fact, when Von Miller initially suffered the injury, it was called a quote-unquote freak injury near the ankle, and they feared that season-ending injury would be required to repair it, and that's what ended up needing to happen because an MRI would reveal that the injury that Von Miller would suffer was a dislocated peroneal tendon. The reason I'm giving you this information is rehabilitations could be very hard on someone's psyche, on someone's head, and I typically like to be empathetic towards the individuals in these stories, mainly because I don't think each story is as black and white as it seems. Nevertheless, things got a little bit interesting because on December 31st, on New Year's Eve, while we were all enjoying ourselves, hopefully safely celebrating the incoming new year, hopefully it's way better than 2020, well, Von Miller also would celebrate his 31st birthday that day with his former dancer fiance, a woman by the name of Denise. Now, the Broncos star linebacker was rumored to have split from her over the last month because both of them scrubbed their Instagram accounts, which means you can't find any pictures of Denise, which was Von Miller's fiance, on Von Miller's Instagram, and you wouldn't find any pictures of Von Miller on Denise's Instagram. Now, apparently, according to sports gossip, that rumor was either false or they have since reconciled because Denise shared a video of her gift for Von Miller and the two of them sharing a birthday kiss. What's really sad is literally a few days later, Von Miller was not really cast in the greatest light because on Monday night, Denise would release several disturbing text messages from Von Miller on her Instagram story, where he allegedly told her that he prayed for her to miscarry their incoming child. So you see what I mean? This story is extremely wild and will probably get demonetized. So the first time I read this story, I said, okay, there's no way this is Von Miller because Von Miller 40 at outlook.com. What's Von Miller's relationship with the number 40? Well, at the very top, Von Miller 40 doesn't represent Von Miller's current jersey number for the Denver Broncos, which is number 58. Rather, it represents the number he wore when he was in the NCAA in college for the Texas A&M Aggies, which was number 40. Now, there's no way that I could confirm or deny whether this is actually Von Miller's information, but that does seem fairly plausible, and if I am making up something about Von Miller, I'm way more likely to choose the number 58 than I am the number 40. I don't think anyone has the foresight to say that, hey, we need to make the number 40 in his Outlook account or his fake Outlook account in order to make this story seem legitimate. Based off of that, I am assuming these messages are legitimate, but you guys can let me know your opinion in the comment section down below. I'm trying to approach this from a very objective angle. This is what Megan posted onto her story with the caption, "Since y'all want to know, here's y'all's MVP." And it starts with Von Miller saying something like, "I don't know what I want to do with myself anymore. I am so disappointed in myself." Megan said, "Me too." Von continued to say, "This is the biggest mistake of my life." Megan responded by saying, "Okay, please, I don't want to block you." And that's when Von Miller hits her with, "I'm honestly praying for a miscarriage," which I could understand if he's disappointed by the news. I can't really relate because I was never put in this type of situation, but putting those words on paper to your girlfriend that is probably scared and just recently has been impregnated could be, well, is a little insensitive. But you can see Megan then posts this onto her Instagram story, a picture of her new child and an ultrasound picture of it. But it gets a little bit worse than that, because that wouldn't be the only time that Von Miller said that he is praying for his ex-fiance or current fiance to have a miscarriage. There was another text message saying praying for a miscarriage once again. Now, it gets a little bit more graphic than this. As you can see, Megan would then post onto her Instagram story a few messages between Von Miller and herself, which starts with a verbal abusive attack from Von Miller, and Megan's response saying, "I'm so disappointed. You've been trying to get me pregnant for years. Cut it out. Now it's I don't want to be with you. I'm not going to say anything that I'm going to regret." Which I can understand because Von Miller is definitely being extremely hurtful over here. And this next message could give you an idea more about Von Miller's personality, according to Megan Denise. She posted this picture of an extremely verbal abusive attack from Von Miller with the caption saying, "Tired of protecting you. This is who you are. Cut it out, kid." And it's stuff like, "I hate you. You never change. You'll forever be what you are." And there's a bunch of more aggressive terms here as well, as you guys could see. I'd rather not read it because I don't want this video to be completely taken off of the internet, but you guys get the idea of what's going on here. Now, here's where things get a little bit volatile. I can't really show these messages on the video because they're of an extreme type of nature. So I'm going to post this next screenshot, which is the final screenshot that Megan Denise posted on her Instagram story of an exchange that Von Miller and herself had about a month ago on my Instagram story at the Flight Mike. If you guys want to see it for yourself, I can't post it over here. There's no way, especially given the age of some of the members of my audience. I don't think it's appropriate at all. But when Von Miller was asked about this entire story, he said, "It's fake news, LOL. The reality of somebody leaving you makes some people literally crazy. This is a classic trap." Now, I'm not going to take anyone's side here because one side saying this didn't happen and the other side is pouring her heart out about the abuse that she has taken recently over the past month. So it's very hard to take a side. All I know is if Von Miller truly said that he's praying for, a specific thing to happen, then that's just horrible, honestly. So let me know in the comment section down below what you guys think. This was a very difficult to make, and I hope I did justice by all of you guys. I'm your boy Mike, and I'm dropping our mic until our next upload.